This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Polls will open tomorrow morning in Florida for the primary election, but we're already seeing a strong turnout thanks to early voting.
In Manatee County, unofficial early voting totals are at 4,785 ballots cast. In Sarasota County, an even larger turnout with early voting totaling 9,774, which is about 3,000 more votes than in the 2012 and 2014 primary elections. And volunteers are busy today, still counting those absentee ballots and getting the equipment ready for the polling locations tomorrow. Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections expects 30% of registered voters to come out for the primary.
I really think that we've got some local races that are really important. Our state Senate race for both the Democrats and the Republicans. There are, I think, 7 candidates altogether on both sides. And our school board race is drawing a lot of attention. We're electing county commissioners. There's some important things on our ballot.
Polls will open tomorrow at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. The Supervisor of Elections in Sarasota and Manatee County, they're reminding voters to check their polling places. Several locations have been changed since the last election. And a lot of races will be on the ballot, including that closely watched U.S. Senate race. 4 Republicans and 5 Democrats are competing for spots on the general election. Incumbent Republican Marco Rubio and Democratic Representatives Alan Grayson and Patrick Murphy are the most well-known names on each party's ballot, but they do face some resilient challengers. Voters will also make a decision about Amendment 4, which is the solar device tax exemption. The measure would exempt for 20 years the assessed value of solar and renewable energy devices installed on businesses and industrial properties. And both SCAT and MCAT will be offering free rides tomorrow to encourage more people to get out and vote during the primary election. Free rides will be available all day on fixed routes.
In the race for the White House, the money is pouring in and out of the campaigns. Donald Trump, after a week of conflicting messages from his campaign, has announced a major speech on immigration Wednesday in Arizona. He's also out with a $10 million ad buy, his largest to date. The ads target Hillary Clinton in 9 swing states on her economic agenda.
The economy is the #1 issue. That people are upset with the status quo in the course of this, and it's the first time we've seen an ad like this. But that ad will not help unless Donald Trump stays on message.
Clinton is pulling in big fundraising numbers, $5 million in just one day in the Hamptons. And while Trump is coming out with his immigration plan this week, Clinton will roll out a plan to address the millions of Americans coping with mental illness. Republican vice presidential candidate Mike Pence will make a stop on the Suncoast this week. The Indiana governor will hold a town hall meeting on Wednesday at the Hyatt Regency in Sarasota. The event will start at 4 in the afternoon. For more information on the town hall and to register for tickets, you can go to mysuncoast.com and look for this story.
Disgraced former Congressman Anthony Weiner could be headed to divorce court. Weiner hit the headlines again for another sexting scandal. And this time his wife, one of Hillary Clinton's top aides, has had enough. ABC's Lana Zach is in Washington with more.
How many chances does a disgraced politician get?
I am profoundly sorry. And for that, I am profoundly sorry.
That was the question posed by the documentary Weiner following Anthony Weiner's quest for redemption after a sexting scandal cost him his seat in Congress.
Running for mayor was the straightest line to clean up the mess that I had made.
And even after a second scandal derailed his bid for New York mayor, his wife, Huma Abedin, stayed with him.
Married to one of Hillary Clinton's closest advisors.
But then came the third strike with this report by the New York Post. The photo of Weiner in his underwear texted to a friend. Abedin and Weiner's toddler son right there in the bed. Now Abedin announces she's out. In a statement, she says, "Anthony and I remain devoted to doing what's best for our son, who is the light of our life." Abedin already had her share of headaches as questions about Hillary Clinton's private email server raised questions about Abedin's role in facilitating access for high-level donors to the Clinton Foundation. And her marriage was already an attack line on the campaign trail.
Huma is getting classified secrets. She's married to Anthony Weiner, who's a perv.
Huma is inside the inner circle of the campaign. This lets Donald Trump make a case that you have to question the security, question the integrity of the inner circle.
In a statement, Trump praised Aberdeen's decision to leave Weiner, saying she will be much better off without him. But he did call it yet another example of Clinton's, quote, bad judgment. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
And ABC7 is excited to announce our 7 o'clock newscast is expanding to 1 hour. It will allow us to spend more time going in depth on stories that matter the most to you. We'll look into everything from political corruption to environment and development conflicts to the future of education. Again, ABC7 News at 7 will now air from 7 until 8 o'clock. The show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire will now air at 10 and 10:30 each weekday morning.
And of course, everyone has their eyes on the tropics, and Bob's been watching this very closely.
Yeah. Bob, how's it looking?
Well, one thing we are going to see, heavy rainfall. That's going to be the biggest downside, I think, of this system altogether. And as far as tropical systems go, a tropical storm, it looks like it could be minimal to a high-end tropical storm, but it looks like it's going to make landfall north of our area. In fact, it's trending that way right now, which is somewhat good news, but we're going to be on the dirty side. You've heard the dirty side before because that's all that moisture and also a little bit of surge up to maybe 1 to 3 feet can be anticipated as it makes landfall. Looks like sometime Thursday up near the Big Bend area, although there's still a chance it could be a little bit further south of that area. Right now, we had a big round of showers move through once already. That produced nearly 2 inches of rain in just less than an hour and a half. Now more rain developing to the south and east, and that's what we're going to see over the week. Looks like all the way through Friday morning. Right now, Inglewood getting some heavy rainfall right now. In Nokomis and Venice, although it was heavy earlier, some light rain there. This area just popped up to the east of Northport, so expect that to move in. And to the north in Manatee, and pretty quiet right now. We'll keep a chance for showers in there. Well, reconnaissance aircraft, good news, did not find any strong winds, but still a circulation. Tropical depression number 9 is expected to gain some strength, though, as it heads into the open waters of the Gulf of Mexico, no longer influenced by the Cuba area. So it looks like we will see this thing become a tropical storm in the next 24 hours. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A Northport house that was the center of an animal cruelty investigation must now be cleaned before it is foreclosed upon. When city officials went into the house in Heron Creek in June, they found 35 cats, including 9 that were dead. The stench of ammonia was so strong, investigators had to wear protective suits. Now, city officials say the stench is affecting those outside the home and is a health hazard. The owner of the animals, Andrew Gerberich, was convicted of 35 counts of causing death and pain to animals, 26 counts of abandoning animals without food or water. The Bradenton Fire Department asking for help in an arson investigation. Firefighters say someone intentionally set an SUV on fire on Woodwinds Lane. When crews responded to the fire early this morning, flames were shooting from the engine compartment. They were able to put it out within minutes and no one was hurt. The fire was ruled as an arson. Anyone with information is asked to call the Bradenton Fire Department.
Gas prices are back on the rise just in time to put a little bit of a damper on Labor Day weekend travel plans. The average price of a gallon of regular unleaded gas jumped as much as 14 cents in just a matter of days. And as ABC7's Bobeth Yates tells us, they will be getting even higher. Bobeth.
It's not quite pain at the pump just yet, but prices are steadily climbing. But surprisingly, many of the people we spoke to are not concerned.
The all-time low gas prices may soon be no longer.
They've gone up recently, but I remember when gas was above $4 a gallon, so I'm not too unhappy with where it is now.
Despite the positivity, the price of a gallon of gas has risen for 11 consecutive days in Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. The change is about 15 cents for an average of about $2.23 for a gallon of regular unleaded. And while the increase may be hard on your wallets, business commentator Richard Stern says there are positives.
The benefits to the oil companies clearly are that they are a big part of our economy in any number of ways. So it really is a positive. A lot of people don't see it that way, but it is a positive for our total economy if these energy companies are doing very well.
Stern says when gas prices were at record lows, mass layoffs occurred and many companies in the industry were operating at a loss. And while there are many positives to gas prices increasing, Stern adds there are also negatives.
No question that as gas prices were falling, people were taking advantage of the extra cash, the extra income, and they were using it to buy discretionary things, including automobiles.
The automobile industry saw an about 17% increase with lower gas prices, and many other retailers also saw bumps. But as the trend of lower gas prices now transition to gas hikes, those at the pump are still optimistic.
It's still a lot less than it was, but I think I don't do a lot of long distance driving, So for me, it hasn't been that big a problem.
Now, to put things into perspective, last year, a gallon of regular unleaded gas was $2.32, and 2 years ago, it was $3.37. So even though things are increasing, it's still a lot less than previous years. Back to you.
Thank you, Bobeth. Now, through Labor Day weekend, speaking of, police in Manatee and Sarasota counties will be cracking down on drunk drivers. Sarasota Police Department partnering with National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to stop drunk drivers and help save lives. SPD recommends planning ahead. If you decide to drink, have a designated driver. More than 10,000 people die each year in drunk driving crashes. During the Labor Day weekend in 2014, 40% of traffic crash deaths involved drunk drivers.
This week, some homes and businesses in Venice will be without some water for several hours. The water will be shut off from 7 o'clock Tuesday evening until 6 o'clock Wednesday morning, so a contractor can replace a water valve. Nearby affected areas will be required to boil water or use bottled water for drinking and cooking. Some of the affected areas include West Miami Avenue, Harbor Drive South from Venice Avenue to Miami Avenue, and City Hall. You can find a full list of areas impacted on our website at mysuncoast.com. Just look for this story. Still to come in your Suncoast News, lingering effects impacting those with diabetes.
How a new treatment is helping patients forego painful monthly eye injections.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
New hope for diabetes patients with a sight-robbing eye condition. ABC7's Alex Redmond joins us now with how an implant is helping forego traditional monthly eye injections. Alex.
Thanks, Haley. About 30 million Americans have diabetes, and about 20% of them will develop diabetic macular edema, and that's according to the CDC. Now, a time-release implant gives patients hope. The symptoms started with blurry vision.
My left eye developed a bulge at the back of the retina. Then what happened was any vertical surface was bowed.
Tim Yurkovich has diabetic macular edema, or DME.
It got so bad before I had the injection, I had to close this eye to drive.
Over time, if a patient with diabetes has swelling inside the retina, this can cause not only blurry vision initially, but over time with long-standing swelling can actually lead to blindness and visual loss.
The alternative to standard treatment, once a month,
with a needle through the eye,
was more appealing.
And same with mine, but you only do it once every 3 years.
This is the Illuvian implant in relation to a grain of rice. So you can fit about 25 of these Illuvian implants into just one single grain of rice. So you can see it's really microscopic.
The in-office procedure involves numbing the eye and a one-time injection through the white part of the eye called the sclera into the vitreous.
Well, the implant can actually last up to 3 years, and it slowly releases medication over that 3-year period to help treat diabetic macular edema.
Tim Yurkovich says that for him, the implants worked very well because he has not yet had to resort to going to the injections, and he hopes that it will continue to work as it has for the past 6 months going forward.
It was completely painless, all right? Only took about 10, 15 minutes.
And the results?
It started working, the bulge got less. So I'm able to see better out of that eye now.
The Illuvian implant releases continuous microdoses of steroids, and that's over a 3-year period. Patients can go back to their normal activities after the procedure, except they shouldn't swim for about a week.
Okay, and anything else we need to know about maybe the cost or the pain involved? Or?
Right, the cost I'm not sure if that's something that we'll have that information up on our website, so people can go to mysuncoast.com and click on health, and we'll have that information there. The pain, I think that the doctor mentioned that it really is just more of a pressure than anything else, and it is FDA approved, so that's good.
Know. Thank you, Alex. Now we'll head over to Bob.
Well, it's been a wet afternoon in some places here along the Sun Coast. This is Casey Key webcam showing you at around 3. Showers started pushing on in across Osprey and Casey Key and all the way down to Venice and Nokomis. And then things starting to calm down a little bit, but more showers are still developing to the west and actually into the east of our area. Both areas, in fact. This is a picture of the storms before they moved into Venice. Barbara Ann setting this one in. Appreciate it. And looks like more rain over the next several days anticipated. Look at all the moisture just kind of pinwheeling around this area of low pressure, and will continue to do so. We'll move the radar down a little bit further and show you that that rain continues all the way down into Florida Straits and even further down into Cuba right now. And it's all that tropical moisture which will be moving in our general direction right through Friday morning, and that means a lot of rainfall anticipated as we move through time through the rest of this week. We'll get these showers developing throughout the afternoon and evening, a little bit more so tomorrow as the low pressure area deepens, and we do think that will happen, especially on Tuesday, and we'll see a tropical storm. Now, it could be Hermine, it could be Ian. We're still waiting to see what the system to the east of the Outer Banks of North Carolina will do. It may actually jump the gun on that one as far as tropical pressure number 8 goes. At Northport, some heavier rainfall moving in there. The heavy rain over Inglewood has since moved out into the Gulf of Mexico. Still some lightning occurring, though. Notice not much going on in Manatee County at all right now, but don't worry, you'll get your fair share, if not tonight, tomorrow. And that rainfall that moved through just a few hours ago into Osprey and near Palmer Ranch, producing nearly 2 inches of rain in just a short period of time. It gives you an idea how moist the atmosphere is and what we can expect and anticipate with this system getting close to us, especially late Wednesday and Thursday. I think that's our heaviest rainfall days as far as that goes. 3 to 7 inches, and some isolated areas could see as much as 10 inches of rainfall. And you'll notice, even though the center is projected to move through the Big Bend area, there's still a chance it could be even a little bit further south near Hillsborough and Pinellas County, but the general trend is to the north of us. And that means all that onshore flow with a lot of wind, and not a lot of tropical storm force wind, but a lot of wind bringing some high surf along the coastline. So that's going to be dangerous too for rip currents, as well as the moisture content in the atmosphere. 81 degrees right now. Dew point is at 74. And as far as the high goes today, another hot one despite the clouds. 93 degrees. 79 was the morning low. 0.03 of an inch of rainfall. That's it at the Sarasota-Braden Airport thus far, but we could still see some more showers developing through the evening. 81 now in Sarasota, 82 in Orlando. Still hot in Tallahassee, into the mid-90s there, and you'll see temperatures on the cooler side as a result of that rainfall that has moved on through. Even the rain cool there in Bradenton, the temperature now at 80 degrees. It's looking a little bit more organized as far as the satellite outflow goes. And you can see the has to have high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it's going to move into an area briefly for it to develop into a tropical storm, and that'll happen Tuesday. And more than likely maintain that organization. Right now it's moving to the west-northwest at 5. Winds are below tropical storm status, so it's tropical depression number 9. By tonight, 11 o'clock advisory, it could be a tropical storm. And then it moves off to the west-northwest. Top winds up at 50 miles an hour by Wednesday morning. And then notice it does that little bend as a trough comes down and forces it off to the northeast. The news is, though, it's going to move a little bit faster here, and that's a good sign. But the winds could be as high as 65 miles an hour, and that's a high-end tropical storm. And it looks like we'd see low-end tropical storm winds. Right now, that chance of it happening for us is about 50%, to see winds up to maybe 40 miles an hour with the system as it makes its way through the east. The color-enhanced satellite imagery showing a little bit better flare-up of storms, what appears to be near the center right there in the last few frames. So this thing could be getting better organized, and water temperatures are extremely warm throughout that region, and shear is starting to lessen somewhat. And there's other storms out there. There's 8. There are some tropical storm watches and warnings in effect for the Outer Banks of North Carolina at this point. And as far as our forecast is concerned, for the next 7 days, it looks like this. We will see a good chance for showers and storms riding in through Friday, with the potential for some heavy rain, flooding conditions, and breezy conditions all the way through Friday. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. There is a crash on I-75 northbound after exit 195 for Laurel Road. The right lane is blocked, but so far there's no traffic in that area.
Orlando's major theme parks are trying to calm Zika fears. The parks are now offering free bug repellent to visitors as concerns about the mosquito-transmitted virus continue to grow. Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando Resort, and SeaWorld Orlando all started offering the mosquito spray and lotion for free yesterday. There have not been any mosquito-transmitted cases of the Zika virus in Central Florida, but park officials say they're offering the repellent as a precaution.
One of Fitbit's newest devices is specifically designed for swimmers. The company has added the swimproof Flex 2 to its tracker lineup. It's sleeker than the previous versions, and you can leave it on for laps in the pool or while taking a shower. Fitbit is also introducing the Charge 2, which is an update to the Charge HR. The black and white display is 4 times bigger than the previous model and can be dressed up or down. The existing Charge HR and Flex trackers will eventually be phased out.
Surprised it took them this long to get it
to
cool.
do a waterproof one,
Yeah.
because that seems like that would be pretty useful.
Getting a lot of exercise in the pool.
Right.
Entertainment news is next.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Civic for $174 and no down payment, just $174. Get great clearance deals now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
ABC7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store of choice. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
Using baby powder or talc may lead to ovarian cancer. $72 million was awarded in a recent talc lawsuit after lawyers found secret internal documents showing that the baby powder manufacturer knew about the link between talcum powder and ovarian cancer for decades, but never told the public. If you were diagnosed with ovarian cancer after using talcum powder on a regular basis, you may qualify for a cash award. Call 800-793-6621. 800-793-6621.
Temperatures are rising, and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $26,999 and get an additional $1,000 off with a trade-in. Hurry! Time is running out to get the new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Come uncork your inner artist at Painting with a Twist. Bring your favorite bottle of wine and appetizers and enjoy an evening out with friends to celebrate any special occasion. It's perfect for a girls' night out, birthday parties, or a fun date night. Painting with a Twist offers 2 or 3 hour classes that are instructed by local artists, and there is no experience required. We now have 2 convenient locations in Sarasota and Bradenton. Visit our website to view our calendar and schedule your next party today.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Accord for $189 and no down payment. Just $189 or 0.9% APR. Get great clearance deals now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory star Gene Wilder has died.
The star of comedies such as Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles died last night in Connecticut. Wilder's nephew says he had complications from Alzheimer's disease. The frizzy-haired actor was a master at playing panicked characters caught up in schemes, but he also knew how to keep it cool as the charming Candyman in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Gene Wilder was 83 years old.
We're not sure if they're Facebook friends, but the founder of the social networking site met the Pope today. Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan visiting with the Pope Francis at the Vatican today. According to a statement from the Vatican press service, Zuckerberg talked with the pontiff about how communications technology could help in fighting poverty. Zuckerberg also gave the Pope a model of a Kia, a solar-powered aircraft that Facebook hopes will expand internet access in developing countries.
Beyonce and Rihanna earned more than awards during the MTV Video Music Awards. The 2 singers got the most buzz on Twitter during the show. They were followed by Kanye West, who gave a rambling speech that touched on everything from gun violence in Chicago to his aspirations to become a media mogul. The other 2 artists who created a lot of buzz, Drake and the girl group Fifth Harmony.
But it was Beyonce's night.
I mean, it's always, isn't it? I mean, she just
Lately.
kind of owns the stage.
She sure does. We'll be right back with more news and weather. Stay with us.